Sobriety, celibacy, and purification. These are the three topics that we will get into today. And I want to emphasize this stage of someone's psychological development because it's very important that we honor it and that we treat it as a sacralized experience through humans' evolution. Now, some people do this to dominate the body. It's more of an ego control mechanism where they want to repress their nature and their instincts and deny what is inherently a part of being a human. So they, egoically choose to dominate the desires. Now, there are some people who just inherently feel called to do this. And it's almost a sense where they can't have meaning to it. There is no rational mind as to why they are going down this route, but it's just an inborn knowing that they have to do this. They have to know themselves in this crystallized container that is without other external stimuli so that they can figure out whatever these inner laws are that are, slowly coming through to their conscious mind. It's quite an interesting topic. It's something that I've experienced for a while now, and I'm still on the path. So I wanted to share this because it truly is a very important part in human evolution. It is a time that we are building a relationship with ourself and with the transpersonal, that we are allowing ourselves to be as, you know, put together in the self as we can be before we enter a life that is of giving to children and our partners and maybe business, whatever the case is of giving, giving, giving. This is a beautiful time of receptivity. So let's really quickly get into the psychology behind this. How does someone get here? How do we experience this inherent, yet voluntary, uh, act of wanting to be sober and celibate and pure? Why does someone want to do this? How do they get here? What is the experience? And I would love to just make this a little bit simplified for you and say that when you go through a psychological transformation where you're working one to one with someone, the container is held so strong so that your ego can go through this death and rebirth process, and the reorganization happens in the psyche. So when you come out of that process, you are no longer experiencing yourself in the same way. Thus, you are no longer experiencing your external the same way. So your body being the material, the matter that experiences life, you have a completely different resonance. You don't associate to these things as they used to be anymore. You now associate these substances. Let's say, if we are to look at being sober, you have taken the energy out of the high. You've taken that and you're pulling that into yourself. So what happens through this time is you're withdrawing your projections. You're looking at your shadows, but you're withdrawing the projections out of these substances because you aren't giving yourself to them anymore. It's like you having all of the energy for you that feeds you and it feeds your soul. So it doesn't even resonate with you anymore. You don't feel the need to go to that to give you the high. And if we're to talk about a partnership, celibacy, even if you are with someone, you can still choose to be celibate and you guys to connect in a way that is more energetic, which is just so beautiful. And if I can recommend anything for you in this place, it would be to research books on. Oh, I have this really lovely book, and I'm going to get up and I'm going to share it with you because I know that you would just so greatly utilize this if you're dating someone but you want to go celibate. So I grabbed a couple of books and I'm sharing these so that you can get a different perspective on the way that you maybe think about having, you know, reaching the big O, and the way that you're connecting with your partner, really, what is it out of? Is it out of a place of, a lack state where you're just feeling rejected throughout your day and you're feeling like you've maybe denied yourself personally? So you're only going to this partner because you're wanting to receive that which you should fulfill for yourself. So here's a book, Cupid's Poisoned Arrow. This, I read this one time and I was radically shook by the studies that are here, which, put simply, they deliver a message which gives you the way that the body actually connects to the orgasm and what it actually does when you do reach the big O. It actually drains you. So a lot of the books that I'm sharing with you are based in more of um, the Eastern thought. Here's this one, and then here's this one. And I'm just going to leave these there for you, so maybe you'll pick those up. So if you are in a relationship and you're wanting to be celibate, then there are ways to do that, to really honor your path still, to really honor being with you and not leaving the relationship, but to honor what it is that this internal system is calling of you and for you. So there's that if you're in a relationship. And now, if you're not in a relationship, then beautiful to learn how to use this microcosmic orbit for yourself and channel your internal energies and allow your, libido to move through you and see how you can create, see how you can express yourself. This is you developing a beautiful connection to your body again. And when we look at the purification aspect of this, psychologically, the way that you are now resonating with these other objects, as I said before, you don't resonate the same way. So with these other objects, TV, propaganda, social media, um, your friends, the environments that you were in, all of these play a huge factor on who you are, because it is literally external stimuli which is saturated in its own way, and that's affecting you. That is being pushed through into you and into your system. So purifying these really big influences that come into your life, and also food that you may be consuming. I know for me, when I went through this phase, it was, I can't eat red meat. What actually happens is you can get, a lot of women will get psychosomatic symptoms where you can't, like you physically cannot consume certain things, or else your body will have, a reaction to it. So red meat, red wine, chocolate, I couldn't have certain vegetables, nuts. Like, my life now is so different than it used to be, but the purification of the food which you consume, it's because your body, in a way, it is really understanding the subtleties of everything around it. So it's consuming to such an extreme, and the choice to be sober, celibate, to go through purification, it's temporary, but also it's not, because it's for the longevity, and you're learning so much more about yourself and what you can receive and what you need to release. Okay, so your subtle body is being highly affected um, because it doesn't bypass anything, and it will literally take on everything to the extreme that it is. It really does feel kind of the frequencies of everything. So when you are in this place after a radical psychological transformation, there is no window of like veil. There's no veil. Everything is as clear as it can be for where you're at on the spiral. Because you may have been down a little bit lower, and the person that you were at that time in your life, you were able to drink and eat and be around these people and go to concerts. You were able to do these things. But when you go through a radical transformation, you are coming up the spiral because you're releasing unconscious material into your conscious mind, and you are no longer resonating with that density, with that materialization. So you're coming up that spiral, and now it's clear. You see high, you see a lot more, and your heart resonates with life differently. Your body literally is affected by your external reality, just with more sensitivities. So, is this something that you might go through? Maybe. Some people don't ever go through this. Some people actually, um, you know, m- may choose to. Well, and that's the thing is the choice isn't really a choice in what I'm talking about. It's this inherent, inborn, voluntary, but also involuntary. It's very involuntary where many of my clients, they say, Brittany, I don't know why, but I'm choosing to date myself. I'm choosing to not eat these foods. I can't. I'm choosing to not consume substance because I don't like how it makes me feel. I like to have my psyche oriented, and I like to be in the present moment. It's an interesting, very transpersonal, very magical experience that we can have here on earth. And it's just so beautiful because it's something that just comes through your heart and you can't explain it. Like, there's really no rational explanation to this calling to pull into yourself, to date yourself, to know yourself. And if I can just leave you with this, it's a balancing of your own rhythms again. Like, you're balancing back to you because you're really honorably and lovingly closing out this charged stimuli that once affected you so much and you were so unaware. And now closing that out and choosing to purify, you are harmonizing to your own rhythm. And that's just the power of working with the psyche, with the unconscious, with your dreams, with your body, with dance, with the whole process of inner work, is that you're attuning to you and you're learning your unique energies with your inner laws that you just have to abide to. It's just a non-negotiable. It's such a beautiful experience. You are meeting and dating and consuming you and all of the energies that come forward, your yeses and your nos, what is right and what is in alignment with your heart and what is not. And you're learning to oscillate between this masculine, I'm going to stand up for myself and set these structures for myself and really allow myself to honor my feminine, my values and my feelings, because those are so important. And my creativity and my expansion and who I am, that is a huge part. That is the human process. It's about the evolutionary stream. So, if I can leave you with anything from this video, it would be to ponder, is this something that maybe you would be interested in doing? And is this something that you've actually experienced and that you're still experiencing? And you're open to life even after this, to when you are ready for a family and all the beautiful things that comes with life. So, leave them in the comments below. I would love to hear your take on this. And with that, I will see you in my next video.